Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. The tree looks naked. Woo, 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 woo. I get to play with a tiny robot today. If only every day could have robots in it. Another autographed postcard coming right up. Thank you, Heather.
How come nobody want me to sign postcard? I could sign. I may not have fingers or the ability to move my arms, but that does not mean I can't sign. Or put my nose print on the postcard. I bet people would like that. Think about it.
Once we put our lights on the tree, we'll transfer the eyes from the ficus, and hopefully this year, the tree will have a better attitude. Because last year's tree, as you might remember, was a catastrophe. Today was the day we uploaded the 2,000 likes per vlog challenge, and if we reach that for every vlog, we'll be showing you what we plan on donating at the end of every week, as long as you guys keep up with the challenge. And I gotta say, it's a pretty easy challenge. I think my biggest fear in relation to adding some amount of value to the vlog, apart from doing it, applying some kind of reason to watch and engage, is that people won't care. Ambivalence is my enemy. Today's question was posted by Guillaume Van Rixtel, and he asks, how do you handle the unavoidable stress that comes with what you do as a job profession? And how does it influence your relationship? Or does your relationship also influence what you do? That's a damn good question. It takes a very special kind of person to love an entrepreneur. I'm very lucky to have found Diana, and she's doing a wonderful job with Jedi, spending a lot of time with her. As many of you know, my stresses seem to shift with every passing month, but that's just the nature of the industry. It's constantly growing, it's constantly changing, and I have to evolve with it. Or, if I don't evolve, I kind of disappear, and I don't want to disappear. What's possibly most difficult is to be able to communicate my stresses and why I'm stressed and why things have to change when I know everything that's going on. And to be able to communicate that to somebody else is a trick and a half, even when it's your partner. Diana's been very understanding, and I've done my best to flesh out all the details surrounding any kind of problem and how I plan on solving it. Check out the beat while the DJ's revolving it. Her stresses are my stresses, and my stresses are her stresses. That's the way it goes in a business. And in many ways, a business is a relationship unto itself. Because so much of what I do is tied into my passions, it's been very difficult, if not impossible, for me to separate my professional life from my personal life. So Diana's kind of become a part of the whole thing. Something that I believe I explained in one of the very first Pirillo vlogs, at least in some official capacity, is that when I feel stressed out or frustrated and I know it's not Diana's fault, I make sure she knows it's not about her and I let her off the hook. Some people say, and I think it's right to say this, you gotta keep your work at work, but when you work at home, that creates a bit more of a challenge. Just because you're physically in the house doesn't necessarily mean that mentally you're all there. Ooh, that sounded bad. If it was easy to be an entrepreneur, more people would do it. Sometimes you don't want to change the way you're doing things, but sometimes you don't have a choice. It's a constant balance, a shifting of resources, not just in a personal relationship, but also in your professional relationships. If your personal life is off by any measure, then your professional life may suffer, and vice versa.
Oh, Mr. Man, life is so hard, you have to do a video about things that you like.
Everyone's a critic. Another good way of cutting down on relationship stress is doing something they do not expect and you know they're going to love. Like getting them one of their favorite beverages. A non-fat water with sprinkles. Even though owning your own business has its fair share of ups and downs and a variety of stresses that could change at any given moment, I'd say that for the most part, it's been a good thing in my life. And thanks to our active patrons, I'm able to support a small team around me too.
I can't cry.
The stopper's almost as big as Jedi from this angle. Wicket, you're stressing me out in a personal way. So how do you handle the unavoidable stress that comes with what I do?
Are you talking to the pillow?
Yes, please spill your secrets. The internet wants to know.
I think it takes a lot of patience and
ice.
Yes.
Even though we never ask for gifts, we do appreciate when they show up. This one comes from the LaRoque family, aka Amy J. Rock. We'll be opening it on Christmas.
I always always miss this because I have to hold her while she's doing cute stuff.
That was pretty adorable. We've got a doll.
Yes, we do.
Sit.
Just do the tritone. We won't see him for hours.
Da-da-ding. 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 You ready to sit? Sit. It's the thought that counts. The world's #1 stress reliever is a smiling baby.
Ew.
Awesome sense of timing. She was made for this. She wasn't really made for this. You were made to perpetuate the species, to make sure our genetic code survives. You're carrying the future of humanity. No pressure. No pressure. Thank you for this wonderful Merry Christmas card, Kim Landwehr, and the same to you. Check it out. It's the exact design as the one that Cole sent us the other day. That's amazing. Great minds think alike.
How come no one ever sends me any cards?
I really want to get a boy dog and name him Derp. That's like a goal of mine. I want Derp, and then
And you want a cat too.
if I had a cat, I would name her Khaleesi. I got a beta, and I'm like, this will be awesome. And I got him a little tank, and it had a cool light that looked freaking awesome. And I had him for like 2 days. I came home from school one day, and it was like, hey, I think it was actually Brian, the other guy that helps me with front page tech. And I'm like, oh, let's do this project. Oh, look at the fish I just bought. And I went and looked at him, and he was just there floating. And I'm like, oh, this is my beta. He's dead.
You probably should have waited until it had reached final stages before actually adopting it, because you just don't want to mess with fish when they're still in beta.
That hurt.
I'm eating Diana's eggs.
You're doing what?
I'm eating Diana's... Were these
Eggs
frozen?
that Diana made.
No, these were not frozen eggs. Diana did not freeze her eggs. These are the ones that we used.
Blood, stop!
What? What?
Stop! I think John and I are gonna steal this baby when we go to Seattle.
Why don't, yeah, Chris, here's an idea. You and Diana can go out for a nice evening, and we'll just watch the baby.
Oh, yeah, right. Like I'm going to trust you at home with my baby.
You don't trust me? I'm like certified everything.
Well, first of all, you just said we're going to take the baby, so I mean...
Thank you, Pam, for your support and for making me pee my pants with laughter after reading this YouTube automated caption from yesterday's vlog. Making stupid people be inspired. That sounds like something I should be putting on a t-shirt. Hopefully this year's tree will have a better attitude.
It's difficult for me to look a tree in the eye, Dad.
Hey, I don't mean to step out of line here because I really don't know my place yet, but it seems that some idiot put a string of lights in front of my eyes.
And so it begins. That should work.
And speaking of work, I'm the only one around here who seems to be doing any.
I think next year we're going artificial. How long was I wearing your Santa cap?
The whole time.
As you can see, I've finally unlocked all of the characters in Crossy Road. Now I have to wait for them to create even more. Do you have a top score? Have you beaten 242? Thanks again for liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing, watching even more of our videos right now, and we'll see you tomorrow.